All right, y'all. What's up? Here we are. Let me go ahead and get this mic fixed here. Gotta tighten the mic up. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm back. Make sure y'all can hear me. All right. Saint, what's up? Marcus Bell. Let me know if y'all can hear me. All right. Yeah, I'm back. All right. Yeah, just getting situated here. Had my little work done now. I'm just kind of recovering the past couple of days, but I'm back. I'm good. I'm good. So what's going on, y'all? The real MVP. What's up? Back in the back in the building. You know. But yeah, I'm here. Let's get into it. Got about 10 of y'all in here. I'm gonna kick it off. I'm gonna kick it off with the main event today, man. We gotta, we talk WMMA, but we got to talk about this main event, man. UFC 284. I enjoyed the card. I got back from surgery last night. Well, Friday night. But I just spent the time recovering. But I had to watch these fights, just laid up, watched the whole card, felt good. Besides, my soreness, I feel 100%. So I'm laid up watching these fights here, and hold on. Yeah, I'm laid up watching these fights. And I'm getting ready for this one here. I'm like, you know what? I think Volkanovski is gonna give Islam a lot of trouble. And I was right. He gave him a hell of a fight. Everybody thought this was going to be some type of walkthrough. I was picking. I'm more of a Volkanovski fan, yes, but something about Volkanovski's style, I think, to me was just going to give this guy trouble, and it did. It did when it came down to it. Um, it was a good fight. When I say good fight, see, there's different levels of good fights. First off, there is fights where you have the action, where it's nonstop, tit for tat, blow for blow. Everybody likes them type of fights, but this was one of these like good fights where you see the technical skills, like the technical skills of both fighters, just on on a high level, like defense, striking, um, takedown defense in this fight. The grappling, the counter grappling from Volkanovski. There were so many different levels to why this was a great fight. Like everybody, when they think great fight, they think blood. They think blood all the time. They think it has to be nonstop action. But, the skills of both of these guys on a high level and the way Volkanovski is moving up, daring to be great, I think he just really showed a good case of why he is pound for pound still number one to me. Um, I think Volkanovski won. I think Volkanovski won. First of all, let me get that out the way. I was a little disappointed at the decision. I didn't see it unanimous for Islam at all. I think Islam had his moments, but if it was a split decision, if it was a little bit closer, if it was a draw, I would have been happy. But I thought Volkanovski did enough to win this fight, in my opinion. Six believes he was robbed. Brian Wiz, what's up? He said, hope all went well for you. Yeah, everything went well. Just got to be easy for the next week. But yeah, I'm good. Yeah, the real MVP. Yeah, I'm doing better. Oh yeah, six. I will. Rain, what's up? Rain Cofield said he thought Volkanovski won too. Brian said no way, not a robbery. Islam beat Volkanovski. Um, Robbery's kind of hard, but I'm at the same time like it's not like this big robbery, but I'm disappointed for some reason because maybe because I'm feeling like the judges didn't see this 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 good counter work that Volkanovski was doing. Um, there's two ways I could have seen it. I gave 3, 4, and 5 to Volkanovski. Okay. Or I could have gave 2, 3, and 5 to Volkanovski. But given round 2 is kind of hard as well because I know he did he score a knockdown in round 2? Did he score a knockdown in round 2, I believe? Hold on. Because I was watching the fight again and I was just making little points here. Hold on. Let me see. Round 2 is a bit of a buzz, right? Where he did drop him. But I thought Islam came back and made a good account of himself in round 2. So round 2 was kind of hard for me to give him, but I gave round 3, 4, and 5 first time around, and even the second time around in Volkanovski. I thought Volkanovski did great work in 5, and in my opinion, I thought he won 4 because you know what I'm leading to. I know James Perez knows what I'm leading to in round 4. You know round 4. Y'all know what round 4 was kind of reminiscent of. Round 4 was kind of reminiscent of Tyler and Valentina. You know, Tyler having that back. Right? First time around, I was like, okay, maybe she won it. But, you know, when you look at what Valentina was doing, she was landing strikes. You know, you can hold somebody from behind for so long. But to me, if you striking them, you know, you got to give that person credit because they landing strikes on you. You know, they're doing damage. You know, so I had to go back and look at that fight too and say, okay, you know what? Valentina won that round when she was landing them strikes. So I was like, okay, you know, we got to look at that, man. So I'm trying to keep the same energy as, you know, how I score these fights now. And just not looking at, I'm just not looking at holding too much anymore. You know, that's not enough. Like you're looking at the face of Islam Makhachev. He looked like he was in a position to say, if I let this little Tasmanian devil go, he gonna kill me. That's kind of what the mindset was at the moment when he had him down in round 4. It wasn't really like to get a submission. It was just like he was holding on for dear life to keep Volkanovski going anywhere. I mean, what do y'all think? Like 6 or I mean, that's what I thought. You know, in round 4, it was pretty evenly fought, I believe. Hold on, let me see. You know, because I thought Islam was landing some good straight left hands on the feet, but he did have that textbook level drop, right? When he got that level drop and got the back of Volkanovski's defense was solid, and then he just started landing from behind, and that's what I'm saying. Like strikes from behind, they should be rated high to me. You know, they should be rated high. I mean, not every time you're going to be able to land facing somebody. You know, I mean, if you can still get off, I think those are significant strikes. Brian said Islam was winning the round before the takedown. Those little shots while you're being backpacked weren't enough to steal the round. I thought it were though. Yeah, I was giving him the round, but that's what's crazy about round 4 was the fact that he was winning the stand-up battle. Like he probably could have kept it there and he probably would have won the stand-up battle. But when he got the takedown, he was more so just like holding. He was more so just holding, and he kind of let the round slip from himself. That's what I saw. So when somebody is backpacking you and you're still landing, I still think those are effective punches. And I mean, you can see the damage being done on the face too. You know, those strikes still count. I mean, they did tally up to something. That's how I saw it though. The same as if Tyler was backpacking on Valentina still cracking her in the face. You know, they still add up to something. You know, but yeah, I definitely had him going in there with them straight left hands in the beginning of the round, and timing was on point. So yeah, I think Islam, he made a good account of himself on the feet though. Definitely, I enjoyed his striking, his body kicks. I liked his tie clinch in this fight, but I just thought he was doing most of that in the first 2 rounds. I think he was letting Volkanovski control the pressure, hit him to the body, um, even cracking with some good shots upstairs and even stumbling him a few times. And after watching this fight, Volkanovski, I mean, this little dude's a tank. He showed a good account of himself at 155. Yes or no? I mean, the dude is hard to submit. You can't keep this guy down. I mean, the lack of a neck, much like Josian Nunes, this guy could go far. This guy's going to stay. This guy's going to stay in his own lane. I mean, the more he just works off his defense, continues to keep that cardio going. Volkanovski is a little tank, man. Yeah. The real MVP said that was that rugby strength. Yeah, that's what that was. I mean, I enjoyed watching the pressure he was putting on and the mindset he put Islam in. You never seen Islam look like this before. I mean, there's a first time for everything. This was the best level of fighter he's fought. And Islam didn't crack. He definitely got a different look. But I don't think he won the fight to me. I mean, I'm not going to say, after watching it again, I'm not going to say pure robbery or anything like that, but I just thought he didn't do enough in my eyes. Yeah. Zamas and Volkanovski's stock rises. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Hold up, James. I brought up some. I got to go back and read what you had said. Okay, yeah. Okay, James said, of course I know. I talked about that thing of round 1 in Discord, round 4, and made a comparison with Valentina. He said it could have been 3-2 either way. I gave it to Islam mostly because he connected way better on the feet. GP, what's up? He said some same judges that gave Val versus Santos the win would have for sure have given it to Volkanovski. Accumulated damage over control. That's what I was thinking at this point. I'm like, accumulated damage, more strikes. Yeah. Real MVP said Volk's striking looked really rough this fight. It surprised me. Yeah, I like the little right hand he was landing to the body, but he really needed to neutralize. He needed to make an adjustment to those knees from Volk, from Islam. Islam landed that one knee to the head in the 5th round, drew blood. But did any judges give Islam the 5th round? I don't think he deserved the 5th round. Even though he did draw blood, he didn't get the 5th round, did he? I don't think he did enough to get that 5th round. Singh said Volk's strikes resulted in a cut of Islam's eye. They had more impact. Yeah, he did more damage too in the right eye. You can see, Singh, you can see Islam's right eye was really starting to swell. But Islam landed one knee in the 5th round that finally drew blood on him. Say he was talking about in round 4. Oh, you talking about the strikes from behind, Saint? Yeah, Rennery said Volk made him look like easy work. Yeah, he didn't look like he wanted to put the pressure on like he was doing to everybody else. Like, you could see the physical strength and the power in Volkanovski. Volkanovski was coming with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, Saint. Yeah, them strikes from behind. Yeah, he drew some blood on it with that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, aside from the crowd roaring it up, getting it going, I thought Islam was getting tagged up in that round. To me, that was enough. And yeah, these little knockdowns too, like he was buzzing Islam at times. Like, Islam was second round. What was that? Second round, he ate a straight left hand whenever when Volk went southpaw. When he went southpaw real quick through the right jab and boom, cracked him with the left hand, kind of stunned him a little bit. Then in the 5th round, he cracked him with the right hand. I mean, he was really going after it. And that's what we like to see in champions. Volkanovski said, I got to turn it up in round 5 without getting too reckless. He tried to go after it. Real MP said he definitely won round 5. That knockdown was official. Yeah. Clear cut. Volkanovski won round 5. I mean, the knockdown, then the top control with the ground and pound. Islam was pretty much fighting behind him that round and kind of on his he kind of on his he I'm gonna say he was gassed, but he was just kind of in cruise control a little bit there after he got tagged. But I think the more and more Islam works here, he could be a threat. He'll be more and more of a bigger threat. He's in a good place right now. Islam is definitely a good fighter. Not gonna knock him. He's definitely a good fighter, but this is what he needs to be. This is the type of work he needs to really get where people think he can be. Like, I don't think he's pound for pound number 1. Islam, no. I still think Volkanovski is. He moved up to show he was the best. And in a lot of ways he did, maybe in the mid part of the fight, in the meat of the fight, I would have said Volkanovski could I would say he could let his hands go a little bit more, but it could be dangerous, and it was like there were a couple of times when he did step in, he did get rocked himself. Like, let's not forget, Islam did rock him a couple of times. Islam put him on his knee in round 2, and he did rock him like once, reeled him back, but this guy's got good recovery. Volkanovski's got good recovery. I mean, like I said, with no neck, he's got a hell of a shock absorber. And I think Volkanovski is still a complete fighter, still pound for pound. Islam 06 Islam will lose to Darius. I think Dustin Poirier would give Islam a good fight too. Yeah, I think Dustin Poirier for sure. Justin Gaethje, his durability would save him, I think. But I'm not sure where he's at in his career right now. Like, what do you think Gaethje offers Sink, like, besides, his power in his wrestling? Like, I just think that I think Islam is a little bit quicker. It seems a little bit sharper with his even with his kicks and his range. Yeah, his durability. Yeah, his durability and raw power. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, like, those are the two things that really save him. But I think Dustin has more, I think, going for him that could give him problems. A little bit sharper. Good low attack. This was Islam's first fight going 5, wasn't it? So, when he got into them later rounds, you could see it in him that he was a little he was looking at the clock a little bit now. He was looking at the clock a few times. I call Islam looking at the time of, looking at the clock a couple of times. He was like, man, is this round still going on? Yeah, this little dude right here, he's pushing the pace. Yeah, but I give Volk a lot of credit. Volk definitely was. Everybody thought he was gonna be looking like this real tiny guy just getting pushed back and dominated, but he came with it, man. He came with it. 3-2 either way. I'm not gonna like make a big robbery deal about it, but I still think there was some good arguments for rounds 4. But if you don't want to give him round 4, 2, 3, and 5. But it's hard to give him 2 because they both exchanged knockdowns, right? Because Volk's knee touched the canvas in round 2, but it's just something you gotta go back and look at, you know. GP said that fight was yet another perfect example why MMA math doesn't work. Saw so many people saying if Ortega can get him down and almost submit him, Islam makes it look easy. Right. See, you know, Ortega's was having more of that wild card factor. Like Ortega, when he gets caught up in the moment, you know, he can get you in that position. Because you got to think too, like the difference between that fight, GP, is when Volkanovski was doing so much damage, his alert rate wasn't as high, right? See, when you fight in Islam, your alert rate is on. All your senses are on tight. See, Ortega already looked like a defeated man, but then boom, when he comes back with a point where he could almost submit you, it was like, oh, I let my guard down one time because, you know, Ortega didn't really offer much, right? But whenever Islam is on you, you know, you got to be on it. You know, that's why I think his senses were completely on in this fight. And that's when you see somebody, how good somebody really is, you know? That's how you see how somebody really, how good they really are, you know? And you can really see how Volkanovski was on in this fight. Sixer, where does John Jones and Kamaru fit into the pound for pound list? Is Islam still number 1? If Kamaru can come back and get his, if he can get his get back, man, I still think Kamaru's gonna be number 1. If John Jones can capture the heavyweight belt, that'll push him up. But yeah, I enjoyed the fight though. I definitely enjoyed the fight. I see a lot of people did think Volkanovski did win the fight, even when I just did the poll. I can't really can't make the argument that after, like I said, after watching, I can't really just say it was a straight up robbery or anything like that, you know. I think it all comes down to what people look at. Do y'all want a rematch? Real MVP said John Jones should be in the pound for pound, in my opinion. Okay, he's been out for about 3 years. I mean, you know, he's been out for about 3 years. So, I mean, you can make that argument, right? All right, got about 30 y'all in here. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Back up and at it. Got to jump in and talk to y'all today. We having a good live stream here. GP said the rematch. The UFC has to see how big the rematch will be. What about Yair Rodriguez, right? What did y'all think of his performance? Yair Rodriguez over Josh Emmett. I mean, that was a fight where you see levels, right? That was a fight where you see levels. I mean, Josh Emmett didn't really offer much for Yair Rodriguez. Yair Rodriguez, you know, athletic, on point, moving, sharp. You know, Josh Emmett, I was enjoying his performances leading up to, you know, something like this. You know, even his cards last summer, you know, he was always in there with a guy that could make him, you know, look exciting. What's his name? Qatar, and so on. Those last couple fights he had, but this one here, man. What was the numbers I was looking at? I mean, total strikes for Yair in this fight was like 98 out of the dude landed like over almost 70% of his strikes in this fight. Okay. Yair Rodriguez almost landed like 70% of his strikes in this fight. And man, I'm just saying, Emmett just getting, you know, pieced up. And that was in a matter of what, 2 rounds? It was a matter of 2 rounds. I kept thinking the fight lasted 3. No, so it's like 2 rounds, man. So yeah, you just see different levels there, man. You see what Yair is going for here. You know, I enjoyed the fight. That was a good finish. I believe he got a 50,000 bonus. He deserves it, right? Yeah. Ooh. Emmett said he was pissing blood after the fight. I would not be surprised. I mean, the damage he took. I know some people said leading up to this fight, he didn't look good either. Like, what did y'all think of how Josh Emmett looked at the weigh-in? Like, hold on. I know people were talking about how Emmett looked at the weigh-in too, like how he looked like kind of drained and sunken in. Vicious body kicks, like yeah, Yari's kicking game. That's what they were trying to say. Oh, he like John Jones when he was like popping these kicks off and landing that big flying knee. But I want to pull the fight up here. I want to go back and look at some of them kicks that he was landing. Oh, Yo, Quest, what's up? He said Yair could upset Volkanovski, but we'll see. Anything can happen in this game, but I'm not sure about that yet. Yeah, also he looked bad. Yeah, he looked bad, man. He looked bad. All right, hold on. Yeah, some of these body kicks in this fight were just vicious, man. I'm just saying, like, some of them should have just ended him earlier, but I can't believe he lasted 2 rounds and to take over 70% of strikes, over 98 strikes in this fight. So now that he's interim champion, I mean, it's pretty. I think most of y'all said no rematch. Did y'all say rematch? I think Brian, he was the one that stood out. He said no rematch. He said they both need to defend their belts and rematch later. Yeah, I can agree with that. I mean, this was kind of like a spur of the moment type of thing to see who was the best where they are. But we can revisit it some other time. You know what I mean? Like when they both rack up title defenses, we can come back to it. But when you got a new interim champion that looks like a threat like Yair Rodriguez, and they're already talking him up, then hey, that's the next fight that needs to happen right now, Then move on to Dustin Poirier, maybe for Islam. Let's look at the rankings here. But yeah, I enjoyed the fight though. I enjoyed those fights for sure. I ain't gonna lie. That Crute fight, Minfield was kind of pissing me off in that fight, man. Like he could have had that fight won. I mean, was it just me? What's his name? Jimmy Crute, Minifield. He was pissing me off in that fight, man. He could have had that fight won, but he was just like hugging too much. Like I thought he was gonna have Crute out. Crute was damaged and ready to go, but he kept letting Crute get him back down and just own him on the ground, just lay on him. So that was another situation where I was like thinking about, a couple fights ago where fighters just aren't like taking advantage of the opportunities. They're just not showing any urgency. It's just like, why land a big shot if you're not going to follow up? Why? Real MVP said negative fight IQ. Yeah, that was like a negative fight IQ, man. I'm like, why is Minifield not taking full advantage of Crute right here? Knock him out. He was hurting him every single round, but then he let him come back and just take him down and just lay on him. I don't get it. All right, hold on here. Okay, Islam. Charles Oliveira still number 1. Dustin Poirier is number 2. Beneil Dariush, he's number 4. Justin Gaethje's still number 3. Yeah, so any of them names are good. I would like to see the Poirier fight. I think I'd like to see Poirier more than I like to see the Poirier fight a little bit more than the Justin Gaethje fight right now. Yeah, I think so. Oh yeah, he had real big piece of all the muscles made him gas quick. Yeah, he wasn't carrying the muscles. Yeah, that just had him gassing, man. Real piece of he killed his Poirier. I got to see that fight. I think Poirier's, you know, Poirier's gonna get it. I think he'll give him a good fight. Mm, let me see. And Volkanovski still got Max Holloway at number one. I guess after next week, Max Holloway's gonna drop, right? Because Yair Rodriguez is the interim champion, so he's number one now. So I'm gonna go with Yair Rodriguez, Volkanovski. That's the fight that makes sense because he already beat Holloway and Ortega. Josh Emmett just got smacked down to number 5. Probably gonna go lower. And he already beat Arnold Allen too, right? Didn't Volkanovski beat Arnold Allen? Or they never fought yet? They haven't fought yet. I don't think they fought yet. Yeah, I don't even think he fought him yet. I don't think he was ready for that. Okay. But let me go through a couple more of these. What else? Yeah, we got a good knockout here by what's the name? Tafa. Looking like Tuivasa in there. Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa. Big knockout over Parker Porter. That's some heavyweight action. You had to get that kind of fight on the card. Then you had Jack Madalena submit Randy Brown. I mean, he cracked him good. Had that dude flying up in the air, got him down, and then submitted him. I was like, oh, come on, Randy. What's up, man? But yeah, overall, man, it was a good card. I mean, 3 finishes in between. You know, you had a draw that had action. And of course, the main event was on point. You know, I enjoyed, like I said, the main event. It was a good fight. It's an all around good fight. 6 a Yair would beat Islam after Islam's performance last night. Yeah, what you think? Too much activity, you know, just too quick, and then body kicks. Islam had some good knees in this fight. I'm not gonna lie, Islam's knees were good, and so were his body kicks. You know, oh, he was measuring well too. I think Volkanovski was just coming up short on his jab a little bit because you know he was shorter here and didn't want to take too many chances. But when he did take chances, he was definitely making an impact. Mm. Yeah, I'm looking at round 1 right here, and you look at like Yair Rodriguez. He throws this hard body kick, a hard left body kick. Then he follows up with the double combination upstairs. Like that's what I was looking at. That makes me say, "Wow, this guy is dangerous." That hard body kick. Then he landed like 2 double rights, and that's just like his main target is that body. Well, you know, he mixes it up. So, but that was like his main focus was to, you know, just rip into Emmett's body the way he was doing. Ooh, man. Yeah, you got some speed to him. Ooh, hard right. Dang, hard left hand, left body kick there. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I think Yair's footwork could be some trouble. I think it would have to I think this fight would make Volkanovski turn more into a grappler. It would definitely have to make him turn into more of a grappler this fight and get him down, to shut all that down because you know he's moving, you know, off the back foot well, pretty athletic, yeah, and knows how to use his reach. So that's something Volkanovski gonna have to look at. I don't think Yair beats Islam. Volk is a little tank and was able to match strength with Islam. His main key in that fight was his strength. His strength was a big part of how he was able to you know, really present himself and put him in certain situations, put Islam in certain situations. So yeah, I agree. Yeah, strength in the no neck. You know what I mean? Like he could get in there because Islam wasn't going to submit him. His counter grappling was on point, and his ability to just control those hands and hand fight in the lack of a neck just made it difficult for uh, Islam to get this submission that he was trying to get. And what was it, round two? So yeah, they are kind of different on that note, right? All right, so let's talk a little WMMA now, y'all. Let's talk about the Loma Labutni. Let's talk about Loma Labutni and Elise Reed. Honestly, I really wasn't had a solid pick. I was leaning toward Reed a little bit in this fight, but I was looking at Loma and said, I don't know, man. Like this is just one of these unranked strawweight fights where it's pretty much always going to be 50-50 because you don't know what you don't know what version of these fighters are going to show up. But Loma Labutni, she shows up, and this girl gets her first submission win, first RNC over Elise Reed. All right, this is the third time Elise Reed's been finished in the UFC. Sam Hughes has finished her, Sarge has finished her, and now Loma's finished her. Okay. Now she's more of a Taekwondo practitioner. And I thought going into the fight, you would see her mix it up a little bit more, hands and kicks, which she tried to do. But Loma's powerful, powerful, powerful leg attack is just too much. Those Muay Thai kicks are too much if you're just not ready to check them, you're not ready to time them. She can slow you down. She can slow you down with those kicks. Elise Reed was throwing some combinations upstairs in the first round, little dirty boxing on the inside. That's why I was kind of giving her the favor because I think she throws more right hands. She'll throw a little bit more like combinations on the inside and right hands, where Loma's more kicking based, but Loma was timing some good right hands. She was timing hers, but not as many. And when Elise Reed went into the clinch, that was her best bet because you take away the power of those kicks. So when she goes into the clinch, what happens? She eats an elbow or punch to the nose and starts leaking. And then Loma, boom, gets her down, but Loma doesn't know what to do that first time around with her takedown. So Elise Reed, she gets that top control. Top control. While she's leaking, she's landing. She's landing some good punches to the body, to the head. Loma's more so just kind of holding on that first round and letting, just letting Elise Reed kind of do her thing because she's still not that good off of her back. Loma's still not that good off her back. Because as she turned at one point, she kind of panicked and Reed was able to get her back. So I was like, Elise Reed has been working here. But clock runs out. Into the second round, Loma, she reverses that whole thing and says, oh no, this time it's my turn. Reed throws that right hand, boom, gets her back. She's down. And she gets her back. And then she picks her up and takes Reed down hard. And that's it. Locks in that choke, and Reed doesn't have anything, man. So it was just one of them things where it's like, I don't know. It's kind of a pick 'em because Loma Labutni is improving. But to me, I still think that this weight class is still going to be problems for her because the size, I still think the size is going to be an issue. Because even when they mentioned the Loopy fight, I thought of that fight, and I'm like, you know what, Loopy being like a well-rounded wrestler was still able to neutralize Loma, so I really wasn't like blown out the water. I'm still sold on Loma to be part of this division yet, sadly. But I think she offers a lot, man. That's why I'm like, they need an atomweight division. They do need an atomweight division. Kel Quest said UFC should make an atomweight division. Yeah. Loma Esparza, that would be a good fight. I think Esparza would do it. I think she would. Yeah, from here, I mean, let's see. Elise Reed, she is now 2-3 in the UFC. She beat Melissa Martinez, who was previously undefeated. Beat Corey McKenna, which is a fight I was picking her to win too. I can't, that's why I say styles make fights. She got a close win over Corey McKenna, but in her losses, she's lost 3 times by finishes. I don't think it's time for her to go yet. I still think she brings some energy to the division, and she's fought some pretty decent level opponents. Even like when she was in Cage Fury. She's always kind of fought some high level opponents, even on a lower level, if that makes sense. Like the highest level you can find for her. So I think Elise Reed may get another chance or two here. Loma, though, yeah, I think from here, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, is that a good name for her? What do y'all think? Karolina Kowalkiewicz, why not, right? Real MVP said remove featherweight and open up atomweight. At this point, yeah. Marcus said it's a little too late for Carla Esparza to move down to atomweight. Yeah, she has been tacking on a lot of muscle. And, she is, pushing 30 something. I can see that, yeah. Stemmen said I root for Loma over here. Ain't there anyone, little warrior that she is? Yeah, I like her now. I like her. I just hate to see her get the raw end of the stick, just because, she's undersized. I don't know. Maybe she needs to train with Volkanovski. You can show her how to use her size to her advantage. Be a little bit quicker with her hands. You know what I mean? That'll be something. Really, he said Loma versus Yasmin is a banger. Oh, that's a good fight. That's a good fight. Loma Yasmin Henrique, that's a good fight. I want to see Loma in a fight with Karolina. I don't know why, just to kind of move her up, give her another name, kind of move her up the list here. She's been in the UFC for about going on 4 years now. And she's on a 2-fight win streak now. Six said there's a featherweight division. I think so. I'm not sure. Oh, man, I'm not sure. If we want to call it that. I mean, we can call it a weigh station because that's where fighters kind of stop off, and when they can't make 135, they just let them blow up, right? I mean, that's bad, man. I mean, how hard is it to make that division? Yeah, there is a lot. I mean, there's a lot on both sides, real MVP. I mean, I've done a show on both, and I picked like over 15, 16, 20 fighters for both divisions. It's just a matter of them not wanting to do it. I mean, yeah, you have a whole roster over in Invicta FC and some of these other organizations, Ryzen, a lot of these young Asian fighters. You have a lot of fighters over there. For sure. Okay. All right. So enough about Loma, at least for now. Let's talk about this fight coming up this Saturday. All right. Okay, y'all. So it is going down. Tyler Santos is out. Jessica Andrade is stepping in to take on Aaron Blanchfield. When I first heard this, man, like I just started grinning from ear to ear, man. Like I was disappointed that the fight got canceled, but it wasn't really. Y'all know, Santos versus Blanchfield wasn't the fight I asked for. So when I heard this one was announced, I was kind of grinning ear to ear inside, man. I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. This right here is, it's kind of, I won't say it's sick for the UFC to do it, but if Aaron wants to prove that she is cold-blooded, you need a name like this on your resume. Okay. Any of the fighters I pick as a threat to Valentin, you have to have somebody like Andrade on your resume. I wanted to see Manon fight Andrade. I want to see Aaron fight Andrade. I don't care. So that's why I'm not really like shook up, bent up about the whole cancellation. I mean, I'm kind of scratching my head like, why is it that Tyler Santos always has visa issues at the last minute like this? This time it was a cornerman issue, right? Cornerman doesn't get a visa permit at the last minute. Every single time she's had a cancellation, it's just been about some type of visa issue. I think going back to the Mandy Bowen fight, I believe, Montana De La Rosa. Anytime she was supposed to fight, like in the past 2 years, I think when I reported on it, it was always like a visa issue for Tyler Santos. What I don't understand is why is this always like a last minute thing, man? Like, why is this always a last minute thing with her or any other fighter? You know, why is it always like this type of issue, like with her? Like, are you not on it now? Like, are you not getting the point now? It's time to do things in a timely manner. Let's be a little bit more punctual. I mean, this was a main event too. Yeah, James, this is a main event. Like, especially this is a main event. You are the main event. You're supposed to make sure that everything is good to go. Why are you not ready? Why is this happening? Was this just her way out of the fight because she didn't want to fight? Not saying she's ducking Blanchfield, but you think this is her way of saying, no, I want to fight Valentina? Well, no, because they'll just find you somebody else. Might make you fight Lauren Murphy now or Caitlin Chikagian. So I don't know. Like, what's the deal here, Tyler? Like, I'm not even questioning anybody else in this situation. Like, the only one to question in this situation is Tyler here. Like, what is the deal? Like, why is this visa issue an issue again for her? But when it comes down to it, okay. Yeah, Marcus said the Tyler, when she was scared to fight Montana, pulled out due to someone on her team catching the big C. Okay. Yeah, it was the Mandy Bowen one though, right? I know it was like the Mandy Bowen, one of them. Mandy Bowen, and maybe like the Roxy got pushed back. The Roxy fight got pushed back. I mean, she's had so many pullouts, so many schedules. You know, I don't know, man. Zama said Andrade could get up a couple times, but eventually she gasses out against bigger opponents. 6, I blame the visa issue on Tyler's management. Pretty much, that's kind of what I'm getting to. Yeah, like I'm getting, that's where I'm at with it now. But yeah, okay. So, how I feel about the fight now? I'm not mad at all. I mean, my heart was partially set on it because that's what it was. So I was already in the mode of trying to match these two up. Like, who's jujitsu's like Santos or Blanchfield? Who's jujitsu's better? Is this fight going to become a striking match? Who's going to cancel out who's jujitsu so it's a striking match? That's kind of where I was at with it. But now that it's not happening, I'm not really like bent up because Blanchfield's number 10 and Tyler's number 1 now. Yeah, y'all know that Tyler got bumped up to number 1. I don't know why. I don't know why Tyler's number 1 now versus Benone. I mean, Benone, is out from inactivity, but Tyler hasn't done anything in the meantime. So to me, it should still be the same, but who cares? Blanchfield's number 10, and she'd be jumping up 8 or 9 spots to fight Tyler Santos in a possible title eliminator. So now that that's not happening, I'm kind of glad because now she's not pushed in a position to be rushed. All right. But now she's jumping up 7 spots still to fight Andrade, which is actually a better name. I think it is a better name. It's the only other name that's not taken. So it's better name, but I think style-wise, Santos could have been a little bit more dangerous. I know people might think I'm crazy, but I think that could be a little bit more dangerous. Andrade, though, is dangerous. I'm not saying she's not, but I'm just kind of looking at the height and the length and what Santos can offer. But seeing as Blanchfield's never fought at a high level against Andrade or Santos, both can just be equally as dangerous. Because again, Andrade at 125 is powerful. She can't beat Valentina. She can't beat Valentina, but Andrade is powerful over any of these other flyweights in there. Like Lauren Murphy, she was tasting that power. I mean, leg kicks, body, you name it. Headshots. She was feeling every bit of that. But with Andrade being a little bit lower on the list, it makes sense more than the Santos fight, because the Santos fight I think would have put her in a title contention. It would put her in title contention, but now that she's fighting Andrade, even with a win, I think that she would still have to fight maybe one more fight to get like a title eliminator, and that would be better for her. I gotta give Andrade a lot of credit here, though, man. She's making a quick turnaround. She truly is like Andrade's a true definition of a throwback fighter, man. She's always ready. She's always ready. That's why I believe, like, if she didn't have that herniated disc, her and Manon would have fought. That would have been a good match. She's that was like really her only downtime if she has an injury. But other than that, she's ready to go, man. So she just fought in January against somebody in the top 5, and she wants to come right back and fight somebody in the top 10. So you got to give Andrade a lot of credit. Like, Andrade, true definition of a throwback fighter, because she's always ready. I know, okay, fighters, they deserve their time off. They can rest. But if you're an organization where the fights keep coming and the pullouts, or the pullouts can happen, then you have to stay semi-ready in some type of shape. You don't really have time to let yourself go like in boxing sometimes. Boxers fight like once or twice a year now, but in MMA, for financial reasons, you should always be on it. You should always be on it, and with Andrade, knowing that a main event here is at stake, she's doing the right thing by making sure that she's still in shape. She didn't just After the Lauren Murphy fight, she didn't just let go. She said, "Oh man, time to fight again. I'm ready." That's what you're supposed to do. That's really what you're supposed to do, I guess, in this game, because yeah, you might take some blows, you might need to be cleared again, but I think it's obvious that Andrade didn't take very much. Andrade didn't take that much punishment in the Lauren Murphy fight. If anything, after that performance, Andrade could fight 2 or 3 more times in a month, whereas Lauren Murphy needs to take at least 6 months off, to 7, maybe 7 or 8 after taking that beating. I'm just saying. That's how one-sided that beating was, Like Andrade was fresh to go at least 10 more rounds with don't matter who. Okay. So yeah, her mindset is always a good breath of fresh air for WMMA. Ready to answer the call, ready to fight, ready to take on a 5-round main event against Erin Blanchfield. And this ain't going to be an easy fight, man. Erin's not going to be an easy fight for Andrade, I don't think. And vice versa. Because just a while ago, I'm looking at Erin's defense and I'm analyzing it. I'm like, okay, this girl has got to work on her head movement. Looking at Erin, Erin's really got to look out for these right hands in this fight. Right hands and calf kicks. Erin's main goal here is going to have to be smothering and closing the distance. You got to do one or the other. It's either you stay on the outside and you get knocked out, or you take your chances in the pocket where Andrade could slam you. But if you have such a solid grappling background, that's where you want to be. Because I don't think Erin's striking is polished enough to hang round after round early on in this fight against Andrade. Andrade's leg kicks are powerful, man. And I think she's starting to mix it up her combinations to a level that where you see that she's more so disciplined. Not just swinging for the fences. So to me, I think, Erin's best bet is to go straight into the fire. You got to get on the inside. You got to get this fight to the ground. This fight has to be on the ground. It's got to be on the inside, on the cage. Take a page out of what Valentina did. If Erin's grappling is on that level, expect to see Erin body lock from behind. Expect to see her maneuver from behind and always try to get Jessica's back. She's never going to be in front of her. She's always going to be at like that diagonal angle where Andrade can't get to her. And that's what Valentina did. She get her in that position, get her down, and work her. So when it gets to the ground, I do think that, Erin's chances of submitting Andrade are high. She has that ability. Andrade's got the shorter arms here. She can't really get any leverage, to break free from some of these positions, like even a crucifix from Erin. Erin's got good top control. She's strong too, So Erin's got a chance in this fight. Erin's definitely got a good chance to win this fight. But it's going to have to be all about making the wise choice of wanting to stay on the outside or on the inside, get straight inside, and take a page out of Valentina's book for real in this one. Because if her grappling is better, if her jiu-jitsu is better, that's all she has to do in this fight. She doesn't have to worry about trying to strike with her at all. Man, this fight's going to be crazy, though, man. I don't know. If Erin can get by Andrade, and on top of that, if she can submit Andrade, yeah, she's definitely going to get some credit from me, man, for sure. Who do I want to see win in this situation? I think for the better of the division, I really want to see Erin Blanchfield win because she's a new blood. And if she won in dominant fashion, that would definitely put her on the map. It's a new look. See, if Andrade wins, we already know. We already know what happens. Valentina beats her again. Or Andrade just kind of holds up the division that way and moves back down to strawweight. So I don't really think there's a position, a good position if Andrade wins here. That's why you can't help but root for Erin here. She's an underdog. She's moving up. She's taking on a test. And she's the new blood here. We already seen what Andrade could do against Valentina. And it wasn't much. It wasn't much. So I'm looking to see Erin show up and show out in this fight. It's definitely going to be better for it. Because I really want to see Andrade back down 115. Really, MVC, I kind of hope. I hope Blanchfield wins, but I like Andrade more. He says tough. Yeah, I'm kind of in that situation too. Yeah, I like Andrade because she's always exciting. But I just think that if she wins, nothing's going to happen here. Valentina's not going to fight her again. There's no need for it to, right? She just needs to be at 115. But with Erin, we need somebody with this type of energy that's willing to take the fight. You said, do you think Erin takes Andrade down more easily than she would Santos, right? I think she can. I think she's easier to take down because, like I said, if her takedowns are on point as Valentina's were against Andrade, and she knows how to maneuver somebody with this small build, not shorter build, she should have no issue. Really, if she watches that Valentina tape, she should have no problem doing this. She should have no problem doing it. I mean, that's a big part of what she needs to do. I think just watch that Valentina tape. Don't spend too much time trying to strike and measure Andrade because Andrade probably will land some game changes on her, within the matter of a minute. So, she's got to be ready to drop a level and, get that back. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not really rooting. I'm not really rooting for Andrade in this one. Like, I'm still rooting for Erin. I give Andrade a lot of credit though for just showing these ladies how it's done though. Zama said Andrade always talks about strawweight title and instead tries to kill flyweight. Exactly. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying, man. Like, she keeps talking about 115, but here she go again, trying to kill some dreams. She be trying to crush some dreams here. He said, but will Erin go for the title shot if she wins is the real question. I personally don't think she needs to go for the title shot if she wins this fight. Because, Andrade is not really going to prepare you for Valentina. No fight is, but, now that it's like a lower ranked fight, they might offer it to her, but I don't really think she needs to go for it yet. I don't think she needs to go for a title shot if she wins. I think the title fight put her more in that position. But, beating Andrade, it could definitely do that. But I'd rather see her, maybe fight one more time. I say Manon Santos in August when Manon comes back. Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was going to do that for Matchmaking Monday, man. I think at this point, with Santos got some issues, man, I think Manon and Santos should fight in like July or August then. I mean, if she don't want that fight, if Santos couldn't get everything straight for that fight, then I think Manon Furo and Tyler Santos got to fight now. GP said Andrade was number 1 ranked in flyweight not long ago. If there's a gatekeeper for that division, it's her. Yeah, she was. Yeah, what, 2 years ago, right? She was number 1 about 2 years ago. Actually, gatekeepers between her and Chikagan. Actually, I think between the two of them, they know how to test the girls in different ways. Yeah, so I think I think it's gonna be a brutal test for Erin Blanchfield here, but I think she has the tools. She has the tools to win this fight. I think she has the tools to go in there and do it. Now, how she executes it, I don't know. Will she let up? Will she take some power? Mm. You see Lauren Murphy, boy. As soon as Lauren Murphy started eating some of them kicks, she was about done, man. She could not get anything going. Andrade is just feeling herself at 125. Yeah, that's what it is, Six. That's what I was saying. That's why I'm saying, you got to give her a lot of credit here because she is the fighter that answers the call. She understands paydays are at stake, so you have to make sure that you are always in shape, healthy, and ready to go, and just willing to take a fight. You said, imagine Santos or Manon duck Santos if they make that fight. I don't think she would duck that fight. I mean, Manon hadn't ducked anybody. I mean, all the way up to this point, she's been fighting everybody they've been putting in front of her. I mean, she's already actually jumped up ahead from Jessica I to Jennifer Maya, so I don't see that happening. I mean, Santos, let's be real. Between the skill sets of both of these fighters, like Manon and Santos, let's be real. Santos isn't somebody you would just duck. You're not gonna duck a contender. She doesn't offer anything to just make you say, "Oh, I'm not taking that fight. I need more experience." Now, the champ, that's a different story. There's a different level when you're talking about the champion, but I don't see that happening. Do you think Andrade's jiu-jitsu and strength will come into play on the ground? Um, it's kind of tough to say because if Blanchfield, Andrade would have to be on top. I think Andrade's jiu-jitsu and strength would be more effective on top. From behind, not so much. From the bottom, not so much. I think Aaron would be in a better position on top. I think Aaron's jiu-jitsu is, very, very good in top position. So I'm thinking that if she's on the bottom, I'm not sure. I mean, with her length of her arms and how she was struggling with Valentina, if Aaron's jiu-jitsu is on a high level like you think it is, I think that she should be able to have more success on the ground. I don't think Andrade's jiu-jitsu will be very effective if she's not on top. I'm gonna say 5 rounds is a good fight for Aaron though. If it's on the ground, he said, notice how most of these upcoming hype girls never call out Andrade. Yeah, I said that before. It was actually who was I talking to? Yeah, it might have been BJ. I was like, man, nobody ever calls out Andrade though. Everybody jump straight to the champion and they'll talk trash about, somebody on the come up, Macy and Casey, they'll go back and forth, but nobody ever calls out Jessica Andrade though. Everybody be talking trash about each other. Macy Barber says, Aaron ain't this, ain't that. Casey, ready to fight so and so. But yeah, nobody calls out Andrade though. Killquist said Andrade and Blanchfield would be a great fight. Yeah, it's gonna be a good fight. Like to see how her head kicks will play in this fight. Aaron Blanchfield, what type of speed advantage, if any, will she have in this fight? The thing is, a lot of these girls, they can sign up to fight her, but you'll never hear anybody just call her out. Like nobody ever calls her out. Like I've never heard anybody call her out. Like like I didn't hear Alexa Grasso call for. No, I didn't hear that. Jennifer Maya did. But she's not an upcoming girl. Jennifer Maya said, I'll gladly fight her again. She's like, I beat her before, I'll beat her again. But like, when you're looking at the girls that are just coming into the division, I never heard anybody just straight up call her out. Yeah, Calvillo made that mistake. Actually, Calvillo, she hypnotized a lot of people. When Calvillo called, when Calvillo called her out, well, she had everybody thinking she was gonna win that fight, man. Oh man, I'm still tripping off of that. Who picked her, man? I almost picked her, but I know some of y'all did. I had to call out. I think it was Marcus and Stam, and I think two of y'all were the ones that thought Cynthia. Y'all thought Cynthia was gonna beat Andrade. I almost took it all the way there too, man, but I said no. Zama said, "When you pick," I was about to, but I changed my pick. Point is, I didn't pick her. Oh man, I don't know what about sold me on that one, man. I was like, is she really gonna win this fight? I was like, what y'all talking about? Oh boy. Yeah, City Calvillo, yeah, she called her out though. But she's not a young head. She's not a young head though. Her and Jennifer Maya, they did call her out, but nobody else will call her out though. Stan said you apologize. I would never. Okay. He said he did. Okay, so he said he did. I know some of y'all did though. I know that night before the fight, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, before the fight started, I was like, what am I doing? I was like, am I really picking Calvillo? I was like, no, I can't pick Calvillo. I got to go Andrade. Oh, boy. Yeah, James said, I think Andrade can do more damage to Aaron on the feet than Santos would have. I think so. It's possible. Because I think Santos waits a little bit more, but Andrade, Jessica's been working on her combinations and she'll let go a little bit more too. Yeah, so yeah, I think Andrade, if she can close distance, she will put more damage on Aaron. So Aaron's got to be ready for that. Aaron just got to be ready for a level change here. She's got to be ready to wrestle this girl down and spin rounds on the ground until she can submit her. Yeah, jab is a big key against Andrade. But even then, I think, you got to have a little bit more to go on. She's going to have that timing down of Andrade. Got to be able to pick her apart with that jab. Stick that jab out. Avoid them leg kicks. and then right whenever Andrade least expected, take her down. You know, Santos and Andrade are really the most powerful opponents that Aaron Blanchfield's, we're going to fight to date, but they both bring two different forms of, their power and their style. I think Santos maybe would have gave her more of a chance as far as the striking goes. But, with Andrade, she's just so powerful and unpredictable. Kelquist said Andrade gets a title shot with win over Blanchfield. Yeah, she pretty much has it now. I think she should have it now. Like she should have the title shot now just by beating Lauren Murphy the way she did. Do you think the short notice could hurt Andrade's cardio? No, I don't think so. I actually think it's going to keep her fresh, because she didn't really, what did she fight? A 3-round fight? That was kind of like a 3-round sparring session for her. You know what I mean? Like that was just a good session for her against Lauren Murphy. In between that time, if she's just near weight, she should be fine. Though I don't think it's really gonna hurt her cardio. Especially if the weight cut's not rough as well. I think she'll definitely be in good shape for this fight. 5 rounds could favor Blanchfield more so, but I still think Andrade, is just she's just in her own lane. Especially when it comes to her cardio, man. Like, yeah, she'll be good. Since Andrade is fighting Aaron, does that mean we get Lemos, Whaley? We should be getting that regardless. Like, to me, I think that fight should already be like scheduled. Yeah, like that fight should already be scheduled now. Like, that's the only fight I want to see right now. Strawweight is Lemos and Whaley fight. Because Andrade is ranked number 6 in the strawweight division. And she's just, fighting flyweight fights. So with her securing another flyweight fight, they might as well go ahead and sign up Lemos against Whaley. Yeah, she's just kind of like the in-betweener right now. So, with Lemos sticking out the strawweight division, she's more committed to it. Let's just go ahead and make this fight. Nah, you can't say Whaley's holding up the division. I mean, it's up to the matchmakers to make this fight. Whaley ain't got to call nobody out. She's got the belt. It just comes down to the UFC now to make the right fight, which is Lemos. I don't think Whaley's holding it up. She's ready to go. It's not Whaley holding up the division. It's the UFC now not making the fight we want, which is Lemos. Lemos won her fight, so that's it. That's all that has to be done now. When you're the champion, I don't expect the champion to call people out. It's the same as Valentina's situation. Valentina's not holding up the division. It's everybody else, right? That's what we were saying about Valentina's situation, right? Everybody's saying, oh, Manon ain't fighting, but she's out on her surgery. Then, oh, Grasso don't want it. The only other person that was really calling was Santos, but Valentina's not holding it up. Valentina's out fight anybody. So Whaley's like that too. She'll fight anybody. I mean, it was crazy of Cejudo to say that she should fight Rose next because he was like, oh, that's a bad matchup. I mean, come on now. Cejudo talking about that's a bad matchup. I mean, like, don't matter. If that's girl's next, she gonna have to fight her. If Whaley beats Lemos and Andrade this year, that would put her up at fighter of the year again to me. She defend her belt against them too. That's a good That's a good year for her. Six said Whaley just enjoying Chinese New Year and family time since she's been away from home for a long time. Right. And I mean, yeah, she just fought too. She literally just fought like a few months ago, right? Yeah, November. Yeah, she just fought in November. So my thing is, she wins. It's on for the UFC to get the this thing situated. She won and Lamos won, so it's in the matchmaker's hands now. Especially when they want to try to make it a big event for Whaley. They're trying to get her in China again, or like Singapore or something like that. They want to set it up so it's on her to just continue doing what she's doing, which is fight, which she does. Six says she already back in training, right? Oh boy, TJ said we need Claudia the GOAT to come back and show everybody what a real champion looks like. We actually don't need her to see what a real champion looks like, TJ. I mean, if you want Joanna to come back, I mean, yeah, like Joanna showed us 2 times against Claudia, right? Oh boy. He said we need to go Joanna. Joanna definitely showed Claudia what it's like. Six said plus all the restrictions in China. Why couldn't she go home for a while? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's not too far away. They're gonna schedule it. It just has to be, you know, right timing now, and it's got to be up to the UFC now. It's in their hands. Lamos won, Whaley won. Now it's on them to make the right fight. TJ said Claudia beat Joanna in the first fight and got robbed in the second. She could have won the first fight because the first one was a split decision, but that second one, Claudia let up. Claudia gassed out, boy. Claudia busy promoting chiropractic. Dang. James said, my thing is you putting it more on Wei Lee than the UFC. He said, we disagree on that. Yeah, I'm with you, James. I put it more on the UFC at this point. I mean, you want a good example of somebody holding the belt up. That's Amanda Nunes right now. That's your example. Like, I have no answer for what she's doing. Like, Amanda Nunes literally said, Juliana Pena needs to fight Irene Aldana next. I'm not fighting either one of them. And then Juliana Pena says, well, I'm not fighting Irene Aldana because it's not for the belt. So that turns the division into a whole mess. Okay, now that's a good example of a holdup. Wei Lee just waiting. Won her fight, she's just waiting. Lamos, she's calling for it. She said, hey, I'll go to China. I'll fight her there. I'm ready to do it. So from here, it's just on the matchmakers to make the fight. You said, Amanda, I hold her to the same standards. Well, but the situation is different. The situation is 100% different. Like, unlike Amanda, Amanda is not trying to fight anybody. Right? Amanda is like not trying to fight any of those choices. At least Amanda, even though people don't want to see her fight Rocky, she could fight Rocky. She could fight Aldana. She could fight Pena a third time. She's got those three choices. But she's saying no to all of them pretty much. But Weili's not saying no to anybody. It's a matter of the UFC making the fight at this point. It has nothing to do with Weili at this point. GP says the double champ does whatever she wants. Man, that other belt don't even. Does it still count? Does the other featherweight belt still count? Yeah, James, I don't put her in the same category with that. Now, I hold champions to the same standards, but I definitely look at situations here, and Weili's situation is totally different. Totally different. Weili said in the interview she aims to fight in the summer and in November. Yeah, that's good. That's all right. As long as she fights twice a year, that's good. I mean, she deserves it. As long as it's Lemos next. Six at Valentina is the diva of WMMA. Is she? What do y'all think? Do y'all think Valentina is the diva of WMMA? I don't know about diva. Let's see. Who else we got fighting next week? Andrade, Blanchfield. I think Lena Landsberg and Myra Buena Silva fighting. I know y'all looking forward to that one, right? Myra Buena Silva, she trying to make her way up the bantamweight, boy. This is a test for her, though. Lena Landsberg may not look like this scary opponent, but she's a veteran that can, that can beat Silva. I can see it happen. I'm pulling for Silva because I want to see some new blood now. But then, Lena Landsberg, she's like 40. Dang, boy, I tell you, bantamweight's got a lot of 40-year-olds now. They still holding it down. All right. So Stamina said, of course not, Val. There's a lot of things, never a diva. Yeah, I think more so Amanda's kind of the diva in this position. I mean, I think Amanda's still the pound for pound number one out of the women, but I think she's playing a diva role right now. Miss Diva role. Valentina just stacking them up. She's just stacking her title defenses up. Kill said Pena, Shevchenko, and Nunes are all divas. I know Pena was. She said, I ain't fighting nobody except for that belt now. What is the UFC going to do in this position, though, man? What are they going to do? Are they going to make that fight? Are they going to make that third fight with Pena at this point? Just get it out of the way? What are they going to do? All right, make sure you hit that like. Still got about 30 y'all in here, so still hanging in before I go eat. What else we got going on, though? There was a few LFA fights this weekend I got to go back and talk about. I watched. What was her name? Jessica Middleton and Dion Barboza. And it's Jade Seeley. They're just starting out. There's a couple LFA fights I saw this weekend. Who else? That was about it, though, I think. Six says she has 2 more fights left in her contract. So she's trying to pick them wise. If she wants to end it, what do you think? Just third fight with Valentina, and then the winner of Irene and Rocky. She wants to cap off her career with Valentina, right? All right. So, what do we got coming up besides Andrade and Blanchfield? I think that's about it, right? As far as like big fights. So I'm still going to talk about this fight this week because it was such a. Oh yeah, yeah. The week after we got Suarez and Montana De La Rosa. Okay, it's not a huge fight, but it's a huge return of Suarez. How do y'all think that fight goes, man? We got Suarez and Montana. Let's talk. I haven't really talked about it because I've been out, somewhat out. Well, I've talked about it. I've just been busy. Suarez versus DLR. Yeah, it's just a tune-up fight. It's more of a return of the killer of the once killer of the strawweight division, but it's not like this big fight because she's fighting an unranked fighter. But like I said, I stand by it, man. I think that this is where Suarez needs to return against because Suarez has been gone for 3 years, pushing about 4 years now, and she's fighting at a higher weight. And even though De La Rosa is not like the biggest threat at flyweight, she still has some tools that can come into play in a fight against Suarez. It's the biggest opponent she's ever faced, too, right? Like what Suarez is like five. No, Montana's what 5'7", 5'8", something like that. Got some heavy hands. She's a wrestler, and she's been out for a while. So facing a big girl like this, it could be a test for her. So it's a much needed drop down in level of opponent just to see where Suarez stands. 6, I'm still anticipating Suarez return. Yeah, I am too, man. Like with her winning this fight, and she wins in impressive fashion, that's when the questions will come into play for me. Like, where should she stay? 125 or 115? Right now, that's what I'm waiting on. I'm waiting on that performance to look stellar. I want her to go in there, look stellar before I start, asking questions, and start getting too excited because the minute she shows like some roughness, I'm gonna be like, gotta go back to work. Darby, what's up? He said Tatiana was a bully at 115. I don't know if she can do that at 125. Oh no, like, oh yeah, 125, different level. 115. That yeah. 115, you're dealing with the smaller girls, smaller strikers. 125, you're gonna be dealing with heavier girls. So yeah, I don't think she'll be able to bull rush too many girls like that. Even if she does the Montana, you got to think about the other girls like Tracy Cortez, Andrea Lee, Jennifer Myers, or Rujos. Them big girls like that. I don't know if she'll be able to just go in there and completely dominate. Apparently, though, she says she's strong at 125, so we'll see. Valentina is the final boss at 125. Yeah. Yeah, I don't yeah, it's I'm not gonna. Yeah, I definitely can't say that Suarez goes out and does what she does to girls at flyweight like strawweight. She's gonna have to definitely have a few more tools to her game plan. You know. So yeah, man, that's what it is, man. Next couple weeks of flyweight, we got some interesting fights. Nothing really to decide. Title eliminator, of course. Andrade Blanchfield is the main event. Suarez De La Rosa the week after, which I will probably jump on to call that fight since that's her return fight. We can definitely call that fight in 2 weeks, but I might jump on and do Aaron and Andrade. We'll see. That's the main event, boy. Definitely a must for Andrade to go ahead and get some main event money. She's gonna get some good money for that fight. Answering that call. And like I said, she kind of has that style that's guaranteed to go in there and do damage. Oh boy. So what else we got to talk about? What else we got to talk about here before I get out of here? I'm gonna be bouncing at the 2-hour mark. So let's look at the rankings real quick. Let's look at these rankings real quick for strawweight and flyweight. Yeah, I don't really understand the shifting around of the flyweights right now. Why did they shift Tyler back up to number 1 if they're not going to give her the title shot? Like, why would they shift her to number 1 and then shift Manon down to 2? It hasn't even been like that long since Manon's surgery. So that whole shifting, it was just kind of weird. Well, who's it going to be now? I mean, if Tyler comes back in March or April, she might wind up fighting Chikagan or somebody now. If she wants to fight one more, if she's not waiting by the summer, she might be fighting like Chikagan or somebody. Let me see. Lauren Murphy dropped to number 6 now. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do Santos Chikagan now. And that was a fight they should have done in the first place to me. That was a fight they should have made the first place. All right. What about this Grasso fight though, man? Grasso and Valentina. There's a lot of people picking Grasso, man. Like, people really, really are high on Grasso. Like, how many people are in a high on Grasso right now in the chat? Like, every time I do a video, people are really thinking that Grasso has this great chance. There's a lot of people think Grasso has a great, great chance. And I mean, like, it seems like people think Grasso has a better chance than Volkanovski had a chance against Islam. But I'm the opposite, man. I was like, nah, I think Volkanovski's chances are bigger. Volkanovski's chance had way more chances, but it seemed like people would count him out. But same people count him out think Grasso's got a great chance to beat Valentin. I know it's different situations somewhat, but then again, it's not really. I mean, Grasso's technically a good fighter. She technically is. I just don't think she has that, pedal to the metal sometimes, man. Like, I understand the fans, if you want to see somebody win and you want to see a change, I'm all for that. Because I like to see some changes. But in this one here, I just think that Grasso still just doesn't have the pedal to the metal on this type of fight. I don't think she really has that type of go get them to get Valentina in a position to make it scary. Like Santos did 100%. When I saw Santos coming up the ladder, I said, Santos got size and strength on her side. I already had her in that list for me. Even I think with Blanchfield, I think Blanchfield has that kind of go get him in the jiu-jitsu to give Valentina trouble. I think Manon has a size, that could come into play in these type of fights. Maybe not the same technical style that could be problems, but those are like three fighters I think would give her problems. But I think Grasso just doesn't. Yeah, 6, like a little bit timid. Like she'll land some nice punches. But sometimes I think she just kind of admires her work. Sometimes, I want to see her go after it, sit down on it, beat some people up, take them out. Good counterpunch, but just not enough stoppage factor in there. Zama says Santos risk to look unimpressive against Chikagan. That's a risk I'm willing to take. I mean, for me, as a fight fan, I'm willing to see that. I got to see the style. I got to see that style matchup. It's a name on the belt, you know what I mean? Like, Chikagan is Chikagan. She will make you look that way, but if she can do what Ebos did, she could very much well stop her. 6, I'm rooting for Grasso, but Valentina got this 70-30. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Stammer said the way people are talking about Grasso now, I've never heard anyone say about her for any of her previous opponents. Mofos just hate Val that much. It's deep. I thought it was just me, Stammer. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, people really, really coming out as hating for Valentina now. Like, and you know what? I consider myself a Valentina fan, more so because of her work ethic and her dominance and all of that stuff that makes a good champion. But like, I'm willing to see through different lenses as well, what it is. But in this situation, I can't really like pick against Valentina and just make it sound like Valentina's going stale overnight. Like, Valentina's not stale like in this situation. Like, every time I drop some, I be like, people be talking about Val like she ain't got no, like, Grasso gonna outbox her. I'm like, I just don't see it. They want Grasso to win, but they really don't believe it. Just want to be true because they hate Valentina. Yeah. 6 said he can place a bet on Grasso. Okay. He said just for kicks. He said bet your house. Put the house on it. Put the house on it, man. Right, 6. I can respect that. He said, I'm just not a fan of Valentina's brand. Yeah, I can respect that. But when it comes down to it, you still know, like, fight-wise, 70-30, Valentina has this fight. And that's, you see, you're coming from a fan, the person that's not a fan of Valentina, but the outcome is still looking like it's in Valentina's favor. But I just hear so many people, like, 1 minute they were like, oh, Valentina does this and that. But now it's like Grasso is like, she's got the key to the city on this. And she might. I don't know, man. Like, my thing is, I just haven't seen it in the buildup. Like, I just really, really felt that Santos had some beautiful moments because of her style. And I don't see Grasso having that type of style. Cayman Rider, what's up? He said, I'm just upset they didn't give Volk round 2 for dropping Islam. Yeah, when I watched the fight again, that was probably a good round to give him. Probably, 2, 3, and 5. I thought 3, 4, and 5. But yeah, I would have gave Volkanovski round 2, but there was a moment where Islam put him on a knee too, so I think they tried to balance it out. I thought round 4 was Volkanovski's round, in my opinion, though. I thought he won the last 3 rounds. Kim said that was round 1. Was it round 1? Hold on. I wrote this stuff down while I was making notes of it. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah. It was round 1, right? Yeah. It was round 1 because the left hand. Yeah. The left hand. Volkanovski hit him with the left hand, rocked him. Hold on. Volkanovski died. Okay. Yeah. He lets. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And yeah. I was just reading through my notes here while I was watching the fight. Yeah, Volkanovski had some good power in this fight too. I mean, he dropped him in the 5th round too. I thought he won the fight though. Zama said always a bit aggressive fan. Still, she beat Santos. I think Santos wins that fight. JoJo was her only submission / finish in the whole UFC career so far. Never knocked anybody out. Only one submission against JoJo. Came and said, "How about that physical strength of Volkanovski? Dude just flipped Islam every time they were in the clinic." Oh man, that's what I'm saying. Like his counter grappling was just like Islam wasn't ready for that. He thought even when he did that one level change, he thought it was going to be. He thought Volkanovski was just going to accept that position. But even whenever there's at one point when he got his leg out and he was able to get on the back of Islam, that just showed you how he really been working on like his takedown defense and just his ability to get back up, right? I was enjoying that, man. Like, yeah, it was round 3 where Islam, he was trying to get the back. And Volkanovski, he just reverses that, you know? Even like when they were standing, I like the hand control of Volkanovski. You know, how he was just pushing his hands down. He was able to turn and just separate. And Islam wasn't ready for that strength. Like, Volkanovski, people were so caught up in his height, thinking that he wouldn't be able to carry the strength and the weight up. But no, the dude is solid, like all the way from head to his legs. Like Volkanovski's a physically strong fighter. You know, he's got that build like a little wrestler, you know, a little rugby strength guy, right? Like you were saying earlier. So, you know, when that type of frame carries that type of weight up, you know, the lightweight, it was really in benefit. He was able to use it to his benefit. You know, he really benefited from it. You know, he's got a wide frame for it. Like, yeah, he doesn't have the height, but yeah, his physical strength carried up to the weight nice. And Islam, he felt it. Islam was feeling it on the cage, man. Like when he was pressing him that one time on the cage, Islam was looking up at the clock. You know, whenever he had him down the 5th round, he was in the guard. He had Islam was looking at the clock a few times. Dude was stronger than he expected, man. James Perez said Cejudo thought Volk would get wrecked and was very surprised, even gave the fight to Volk. Uh-huh. And now he thinks that Grasso is going to beat Valentina somewhat, right? Isn't that what he said? Something about her boxing? I was looking at one of his videos. Yeah, he was saying something about Grasso's boxing being able to beat Valentina. I was like, nah, man, come on. He be talking crazy. Islam in his heart has no he lost, I feel. Yeah, he didn't look like he was convinced. Yeah, at this point, that's what it is. 6, just you gotta hope for the best for your fighter if you really want her to win. Mm. Ernest said Grass are gonna box Valentina. Oh man, that would be the day. That would be something, right? All right, let me see. A few more minutes. I'm gonna wrap this thing up. 6 minutes left. We on the market here because I'm hungry tonight and I'm still resting up. So I just wanted to get on here for a couple hours. Uh, let's see. 6 at beating on grass will be a hell of a payday, though. Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that, man. Yeah, James. Islam said Volkanovski won 1 minute out of 25. Is he crazy? Like he won the whole fifth round and the third round, and he dropped him a few times in this fight. So what is he talking about? I don't get it, man. What's up, yo? Islam better go back and watch that tape. If Islam continues with this mindset, thinking that Volkanovski only won one round, he ain't gonna get better as a fighter. Because you think you ain't got to improve off of this fight, you got a lot of. Man, he gonna have to go back and watch this thing again with some people that's gonna tell him the truth, man. Because he didn't win this fight. Okay, what do we got? Yeah. Let me see. Islam was honest in the cage, not on Twitter. He knows what's up. Yeah. In the cage, yeah, he was honest. But as soon as he got to Twitter, he was like, "Oh, I watched this fight." But it was a good TJ, I'm out. All right, he said I'm out. Bet the house on grass, so summer is coming, so at least it'll be warm this night when you're sleeping on the street. Like since when can you challenge a pound for pound fighter for pound fight title? But yeah, on the real, it was a good fight. They matched up well. That's what they wanted to do, and that's what you make. That's how you make good fights, man. Like definitely is going to go down as a good fight. One of the best fights of this year. Good technical match, and I really like the work that Volkanovski did. Um, Islam too, he was a good fighter. He's stepping his game up. This is the biggest test I think of his career, and he's got to grow from it. I don't think he can continue to say something like, "Oh, Vote only won 1 minute out of 25 minutes." We know that's not true, you know. And yeah, this weekend is gonna be crazy, man. Blanchfield's got her hands full with Andrade, man. Whew. Andrade can be that dream crusher though, man. But like I said, I want to see Blanchfield win this fight, man, because I think it's gonna be better for the division. But if Andrade wins in dominant fashion, hey, this girl deserves her 50,000 bonus, right? If Andrade goes in there and finishes Blanchfield on the main event on short notice, she'll have earned a 50,000 bonus to me. You know, she goes in there and does some big things, man. And that's what makes it hard to pick against Andrade, man. She can find so many ways to win, you know. It's crazy how Drew Dauber and Arman couldn't flip Islam to the cage consistently like that. They're big lightweights, but Volk is just flipping Islam to the cage like hamburger pan. Yeah, I think it all comes down to like the stature. You know, I think Volkanovski, he's so much more athletic and quicker. You know, like he doesn't have as much body length to throw around and move. Where he's a little bit more compact, so he knows his body. Let me put it that way. Volkanovski knows his body, so he can flip Islam like that because got that low center of gravity, and it's not just all about being like wide and big. The way he's proportioned out, it really, he knows how to use it to his advantage in these fights. So yeah, the way he was flipping him like that and just getting back to his feet a few times, that was impressive. He's like a mini DC. Yeah, good wrestler, man. I mean, people weren't expecting that, man. They really weren't. But yeah, I'm getting up out of here, y'all. It is at the 2 hour mark now. I'm gonna be off this whole week anyway. So if there's anything to talk about, I'll jump on. Make sure y'all hit that like button on your way out and subscribe if you haven't. Because I'm gonna watch this fight again, man. I'm gonna watch this Volkanovski Islam fight a third time and see what I see. Just because I like to do that. But yeah. Hold on. I'm closing stuff out here. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all tonight. And hit the like, subscribe if you haven't. Combo Breaker 99. I'm out. Subscribe. Peace.